This is KCBD News Channel 11 at 5.
People across Lubbock could probably see the large plumes of black smoke.
Right now, investigators with the Lubbock Fire Marshal's Office are trying to figure out what sparked this blaze in North Lubbock this afternoon. This is video from the scene shortly after fire crews arrived. We brought you these images first during live coverage on air this afternoon. KCBD News Channel 11 to Ashlyn Tubbs is tracking the latest developments. Let's go to her live now for more on this ongoing investigation. Ashlyn?
Shaley.
Okay, thanks, Ashlyn. It was another roller coaster day on Wall Street. Shares soared at the opening bell, boosted by news that China was taking steps to heat up its lukewarm economy. But the rally lost steam this afternoon. Brian Moore has details.
There's the opening bell.
Now looking ahead to tomorrow, three factors will continue to weigh on global markets. First, the concern that China's economy is slowing down faster than analysts had originally anticipated. Second, the uncertainty over when the U.S. Federal Reserve will raise its benchmark interest rate. And the effect of cheap oil. Right now, crude oil is trading below $40 a barrel, its lowest point in more than 6 years. Right now, investigators are working to connect the dots between two killings in Louisiana after a man shot and killed a state trooper. Police say Trooper Stephen Vincent was killed with a shotgun when he was responding to a call about a drunk driver. The registered owner of the truck that the suspect was found in has been found dead. And now police believe that suspect could be linked to other killings.
We do have information to believe that he was a resident at that location, maybe not permanently, but at least staying with him. We have not established that yet, whether he's a friend, whether he's a relative. We have not gotten that far in the investigation yet.
Police say 54-year-old Kevin Daigle is in custody. Several drivers pulled over to help Vincent and restrain Daigle using the trooper's handcuffs. A new law will soon change the way school districts handle kids who play hooky from class. State lawmakers passed a House bill which essentially decriminalizes truancy for students. KCBD News Channel 11's Gloria De Leon joins us now with more on this new law. Gloria?
Shaley.
Okay, thanks, Gloria. An earthquake shook the Memphis, Tennessee area this morning. The United States Geological Survey says the quake measured in at a magnitude of 3.5. Some people reported feeling the earthquake all over western Tennessee and in parts of eastern Arkansas. So far, there have been no reports of damage. Now to a traffic watch in North Lubbock. Right now, eastbound lanes of North Loop 289 and the Ash Avenue overpass are shut down. A truck carrying a pump jack hit the overpass last night, damaging part of the concrete bridge. TxDOT brought in an expert from Austin to inspect the overpass. Crews hope to reopen the area tonight, but that will depend on the inspector's report. We'll let you know if that happens. Checking in now with our weather, there is a slight chance of isolated storms late this afternoon and thunderstorms this evening. Let's head over to John in the First Alert Forecast Center with more. John, will this rain bring a cool down? Okay, thanks so much, John. Right now, Tropical Storm Erica is now the fifth named storm of the Atlantic hurricane season. It formed late last night. The National Hurricane Center says maximum sustained winds are 45 miles per hour and that Erica is about 1,000 miles east of the Leeward Islands. Right now, it's too early to tell if Erica will have any impact on the U.S. Investigators have searched two buildings in Brussels where the gunman accused of attacking a high-speed rail train may have stayed. Prosecutors say no one has been detained or questioned there. The suspect is believed to have boarded the train on Friday at a station in Brussels. He was tackled and tied up by three American friends and a British businessman. Another man who tried to stop him remains hospitalized with a gunshot wound. The municipal court judge in Ferguson, Missouri has announced sweeping changes to the city's court system. It is designed to get people who are afraid of arrest to show up for their court date and restore faith in Ferguson courts. The judge says any active warrant from 5 or more years ago will be cleared with the prosecutor's approval. Defendants who come to court will not be arrested and given new options for their case. That includes payment plans, community service, and more.
We figure that this is an opportunity for them to make a fresh start. They won't have a warrant. The cases will still be on the books, and they will still be given a notice to come to court, but they don't have to do it under fear of arrest.
For some, completing this process will allow them to lift the hold on their driver's license. City of Ferguson officials are applauding this move. Presidential candidate Jeb Bush is in Colorado today for a town hall meeting with veterans. Bush talked about several issues, including women's health care and immigration. Bush recounted his record on women's health programs and discussed Planned Parenthood.
I, for one, don't think they should get that Planned Parenthood ought to get a penny, though. And that's the difference, because they're not actually doing women's health issues. They're involved in something way different than that. One quick thing about
Bush then pointed out the differences between his style of politics and rival Donald Trump's style. Coming up on KCBD News Channel 11 at 5, a woman driving on the wrong side of a Utah freeway tries to hijack other cars after her SUV rolls over. Despite booming sales, many Americans are less than happy with their new vehicle. And Bluebell has revealed the name of the second flavor to be released when the ice cream hits shelves next week.
And we have some summer-like temperatures, make that ice cream taste good, and we'll look at those temperatures coming up.
Police in Utah have arrested a woman who they say was high on drugs and driving the wrong way on the interstate. The Utah Highway Patrol says the 32-year-old woman took off when they tried to apprehend her, leading police on a high-speed chase. At one point, a trooper was able to hit the back of the woman's vehicle, causing it to roll.
She was a small girl, about 100 pounds, and it took 5 troopers to get her into custody. We're unsure of what drug she was on, but we believe it was some drugs and possibly some mental issues.
The suspect ran from the crashed vehicle, allegedly trying to hijack other vehicles. She was recently released from prison and on parole. A police-involved shooting and car chase in the parking lot of a busy Miami, Florida mall came to a dramatic conclusion, and it was all caught on camera. Willard Shepard has more on the frightening footage. No officers were injured during this ordeal. Auto sales are up, but buyer satisfaction is down. Americans are less happy with their cars and trucks than at any time in the past decade. A new report blames the mood on recalls. A record 64 million vehicles were recalled last year for problems like defective airbags and ignition switches. Rising prices are also contributing to frustrations. Home rentals jumped again in July, suggesting demand for rentals continues to grow since the numbers of Americans owning homes has dropped. Rental prices have increased more than 14% in San Francisco, nearly 13% in Denver, and more than 11% in Portland, Oregon. Bluebell has released the second flavor that will be hitting the store's shelves. Dutch chocolate is headed our way. Today, the company posted on Instagram saying, "All of us here at Bluebell are anxiously awaiting that first bowl of ice cream along with everyone else." Bluebell is doing a slow rollout of the flavors that will be hitting the shelves when the ice cream returns to select stores next Monday. You'll remember all of Bluebell's products were recalled last spring because of a listeria outbreak. The creamery is releasing a sneak peek of the product lineup via Instagram. Yesterday, Bluebell announced that homemade vanilla will also be one of the first flavors released.
To you, Shaley.
Okay, thanks so much, Karen. It was a pricey mistake in Taiwan. A 12-year-old boy tripped over a rope barrier at an art exhibit and accidentally punched a hole in a $1.5 million painting. The painting, titled Flowers, is about 350 years old, on loan from Italy. Museum administrators are not asking the boy and his family to pay for the damage. Instead, they will ask the insurance company to cover restoration costs and compensate the painting's owner. A new landmark opened in Copenhagen, Denmark over the weekend. Thousands attended the opening of the Circle Bridge on Saturday. In the seagoing Danish community, the bridge is composed of 5 circular platforms of different sizes, each with a mast and a connecting quay. The bridge's designer said his inspiration comes from his father and his childhood. Many people commute to work in Copenhagen via bicycle. We'll be right back with a final look at your forecast. John is back with a final look at our forecast. John?
You know, we have some showers going on around in the area, Shaley, but the rain chances in the 7-day are gradually going down until we get to Friday. Then they're going to jump up a little bit again in the afternoon and the evening to around 20 to 25%. Taper off again Saturday and Sunday, but it's going to be hot both Wednesday and Thursday. I expect us to be in the mid-90s. Nighttime lows, not too bad though, Shaley. Generally mid and even a few upper 60s coming up at least through Friday.
Oh, that'll be nice. A nice break from the heat.
I know.
Thanks so much, John, and thank you for joining us. That is all of our time. The news continues with NBC Nightly News.